Hi, good afternoon and good morning to everyone. Today we are here with having a fireside chat with Stefan. So I would like to introduce him. So please, Stefan, if you can do some brief about yourself and you can introduce yourself on this point.
Yeah, hello, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. So I'm Stefan Courtiou. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I built several companies, but today I'm here to speak about the fashion tech area where I built the last company, Sleeve. So how AI is moving in the forward the fashion industry. So I have 25 years of experience in the tech industry. I have I started as an engineer working for Cisco and Philips, and then I moved to, after an MBA, then at the INSEAD, to start building my own venture. And today I'm developing Sleeve, so which is a platform for the fashion ecosystem. So the brand, the supplier, as well as the manufacturer of fashion garments.
That's good. Thank you very much for your intro. Also for the people that we are having in the meeting. I'm Marc Cortés. Also, I'm Deputy to Vice President in DAITAT. It's a research center from Barcelona. We are employing about 700 scientists in almost all the fields. And I'm leading the AI and cybersecurity divisions. And I'm also the general manager of the AI Excellency Center in Barcelona that we have created with the main IT technological companies, Intel, Fujitsu, Huawei, NVIDIA, and all these ones. And it's a pleasure to just be today with Stefan talking about this. So, for example, I would like to start with some of these points that we were discussing earlier these days. So what do you think that, which are the main uses that we could integrate between artificial intelligence and big data in the fashion industry? Stefan, what do you think about that?
I think we can integrate AI everywhere in the fashion industry today. So the future of fashion will be digital, of course. It will be sustainable and personalized. So for personalization, there is a lot of area where we can improve unique experience for all the customer, and as well as to have a more inclusive and diversity in the fashion industry. So where I used to work is the body size and the measurement of the customer, because today in the fashion industry, the fast fashion model is more overall offering a certain size, but not all the size for the customer. And in the AI is a big help to build a body size model and also a body measurement model. In this context, we use AI to do prediction of the body size for anyone who are not in the right, in the common size of the fast fashion. We can with AI we can extract the body measurement of the to predict what is the size of any customer coming in the store, or even using a camera. For the body measurement as well, it helps. We start with these apps from a prototype we did in a store, in a made-to-measure store. So any vendor was able to see and to realize what is the size of the customer entering to the store. So starting with this use case, we try to build with AI an app that is able to predict the size of any customer entering into the store.
That's really nice, because what you are doing is you are integrating image analysis with this kind of database that you might be having. So this way you can also from one side decide which might be the proper size for the prospect customer. And also at the same time, you could also predict which would be the things that might be more interesting according to the applications and the users that you are having in the community. And at the same time, what you can do is that you can also arrange proper changes in the patterns, so you could also adapt new designs for the prospect customers. I think that that's quite interesting, because it's something that we are related also in the behavior analysis that we are doing from customers. We are integrating also data that we are getting from the website and from the applications of the retail brands. And we are integrating that data with the movements that are doing the people when they are going to the physical shops. So we can also recognize that someone is coming into the shop. So we know who is coming. We can link that data with the user of the application. We know that if they are looking for the pieces of fashion that they have been looking on the website, and at the same time, if they want just to see it, which are the feelings that they are taking from that, and which are the reactions that they are getting according to the price on these kind of activities. So I think that that would be a real behavior, like, because you are integrating real life and also the lake of data analysis. So I think it's quite interesting on that side.
And this is one of the applications we can build to be more inclusive, to have a fashion more inclusive for everyone, but also to remove some of to have more sustainable model as well, because when you do e-commerce, one of the most reason to return your product when you buy online is because the size is not good. So if you are able to predict the size in the right way before the purchase, it helps to be more sustainable. It helps to have more inclusive customer experience. And this is a real use case where fashion is AI help fashion to be more sustainable and personalized.
Actually, so that we could say also that doing it this way, we might be also doing CO2 reduction, because we are not having as much of shipments of clothing pieces around the globe, and we are having less returns. So it could be a positive impact to whatever that we are doing in that side. That's good. And which are the main challenges that you think that they might be in a successful deployment on this fashion industry?
The main challenge is the size and the body measurement is okay for the industry, but it's all about the fitting and when you use when you go to the fitting room and you wear your garment. So not only predicting the size is good, but also you need to adapt, and particularly to be sure that it's about the style, but it's about the size and the style as well. So the combination of both, if you predict well the size, it won't be always true that the customer will be happy. So predicting, having a couple between the size and the style is very key. And AI, of course, helps to be able to predict both. Yeah.
That's good. And I think that for that, we should be creating also like 3D models of the prospect customer and this kind of data. I think that they are also quite good technologies that they are starting to create 3D models of someone, also of whatever that can be also later on in additive manufacturing technologies that they can be printed in 3D. But I think that having that kind of data, it's quite sense. I think that also might be quite a problem, because some people might not be liking to give all this kind of data to the community or also to the prospect generator of that information. But I think that could be something that it will be part of the AI impacts that we'll be having in the future, because we'll be having more data of the people, so we'll be able to propose better fitting pieces. But at the same time, it will be several challenges that we need to cover in here. So how do you think that AI will impact the fashion industry in the future?
It will impact in several areas. If we are looking at the customer side, it will improve the experience, of course, the personalization, not only because of the product will be personalized, but all the marketing and the customer experience is personalized. Knowing your customer, knowing his body is not enough. You know his consumption habit and what he likes when he buys something. You can combine with other product or whatever. So all these tools are going to be rolled out, and there is a lot of startup and big company working on that. But it also impact the 3D is really key in this process, because if you start with 3D native fashion, when you start with a design in 3D, you save time, you save also prototype, you reduce the number of prototypes, you have an ability to deliver faster with less prototyping, less cost, and better carbon consumption impact footprint. And but also it helps to build the rest of the process, to the selling tool, because you can use selling tool with 3D. And once you build selling tools with 3D, you can go to virtual reality, augmented reality. Here, AI is a big area where you need this model to build apps in virtual reality, augmented reality, like virtual fitting room today. You need to build this technology. Fashion is not there today because if you go to jewelry or footwear, you can see apps wearing in virtual reality apps wearing your foot or any jewelry. For having the same virtual fitting room with garments is much more difficult than AI helps, but it's not the model need to be trained more and to get a fitting of 3D on a body, on someone using a camera, it's not there. But you can use avatar, and avatar plays a role in augmented reality. So AI has a big impact in this area of fashion for selling a more sustainable product with model in designing as well.
Exactly. You can create something like the filters that we are having, like in Instagram, that you can change your look and feel, something like this, and you can showcase how the dress could be fitting over you. So I think that that's what a good point, because also one of the main problems that we are having, for example, in AI, when we are doing this kind of analysis, is to figure out how is the names that the prospect customers are using to define prospect clothing. So that what we cannot do is we cannot just use the random recommendation of products that, for example, you can see in common big websites, that they are selling you a cell phone and they are offering you a charger and all this stuff, because it's standard common sense. But when you are working in fashion, depending on which of the concepts, they cannot be just a simple purpose. So maybe a lady can be just looking for a night dress, and you cannot show common shoes for that suitable point. And maybe they are asking for a night dress for summer or for winter or for inside or for whatever. And that is a huge wall of descriptions. But I think that we are unable to describe them, and it's quite tight to get that really fitting common sense. And that's one of the main challenges that we are having there, because we are having a huge retail player here in Spain. Well, it's an international player. And when we are doing this kind of filters, it's really fun to really ensure that the results of the activity are really fitting what you are needing. So I think it's really cool, and it's fun to work in that side. So I like the things that you are doing. And for example, in that side, what do you think with Metaverse? What do you think is that? What are we doing with this?
The fashion is going to be digital, and so the Metaverse is a digital universe at the end, and where the game industry is going, all the fashion industry as well. There is a interaction between the fashion industry today and the game industry. So everything, if you start with digital fashion 3D ready, you can play a lot of apps with that, and all the player of the fashion can go to the Metaverse. And today, there is already a movement that is going to this universe, parallel digital universe for the fashion brand, where they can promote their product. They can reduce also avoid some are digital native, and there is famous notorious startup building only digital garment, and this is really where the fashion is going tomorrow.
That might be quite cool. Can you explain it further? How do you think that we can also see that in the close future? Do you think that the community or the society is ready for these kind of challenges? Or we might need maybe several years to get that thing really useful, and that everyone it's ready for using that. For example, it's the same happening with the automotive cars, that we cannot still be ready to get the car that is driving by themselves. So do you think that this kind of concept in the fashion industry is also ready for the community and the society?
as long as the asset will be ready, like the 3D asset, all the texturing, all the digital data, the data is really important to build this metaverse and to build, even to have the fashion going to the game industry to promote their product or other industry as well. I think the asset, the data are okay to be ready for this. And today, I think not all the fashion industry is ready to go to this to get the data sufficient to go to build this, but there is an adoption of 3D, of artificial intelligence that is underway today, and I think that's just a matter of time to build everything.
Well, that's right, because at the end of the day, the big players on the fashion and the retail industry, they are already investing in AI, so they have been several years investing and working in these kind of areas. So they are having this data. They have this data. They know which are the trends, which are the look and feel of the people, why the people is starting to purchase things and later on they are returning to the shop. Obviously, with the COVID situation, everything has changed for the last 2 years. So few of this data is still right now being regenerated. But I think that that's a real concept, a real technology that it's winning space in the areas that we are living right now. And also I see that they are really general and applicable and also to other industries, because whatever that we are doing in this sense, that we are doing this kind of feelings recognition of the customer when they are looking a piece, it could be for the fashion industry, but also for choosing a car or another kind of system. So in fact, we are getting more knowledge of which is the prospect feeling, feedback and responses that the user is not directly giving us as a company. So I think that from your side, what you are doing is you are doing both sides. From one side, you are generating this information and this added value for the company, because you could sell this solution to the corporate world, but also at the same time, you are working also in the customer base. So what you could also create is a database of customers that they are having these tastes, and from there you are offering them solutions for the prospect needs. So I think it's a bilateral world, and they are more wider. So it's quite interesting. So please go on.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how you build or you integrate apps in retail and maybe outside fashion. What you are today? What are the context of big data and AI in the Hermes AI Excellence Center, and particularly maybe outside fashion, and if you are doing something outside, and how do you see all the industry going to AI today with AI to disrupt their process?
Sure. Here, basically what we are doing is we are integrating a few of the clicks that we are getting from the applications on the website. So we are looking the behavior of the user. So we see at the time that they are free and they are trying to look which are the pieces of the fashion retail company that they like more, which is the kind of tastes that they are having, which is that affecting the prospect feelings that that prospect customer is having. If they are having some good shape, if they are angry, if they are tired, or they are whatever, because you can also take these kind of conclusions based on the speed that they are moving along the website. Because usually when you are just visiting one website, you cannot take conclusions. But what we are talking about repeating customers, that maybe they are visiting the website 2, 3, or 100 times a week because they are looking for one promo or one deal or whatever, then you are starting to know which are the feelings that are behind that prospect purchase. So when you are analyzing the behavior of that customer when they are going to the shop, then you can see if they are just going to the shop to see how is that picture that they have been seeing during the last 2 weeks, if they want to see it in real, to feel which are the difference between the picture of the website and also the real thing, because sometimes you see that you are taking a picture and you see it's lovely, and when you see it in the reality, it's like, oh, gosh, I didn't like it. So that's quite common in this kind of appearance, because all the pictures in the website, they are looking awesome. And that's one of the things that they can help to improve the product itself. Because when you are getting that, you see that you are getting an amazing number of sales through the application or through the website. you are getting an increasing number of reads of that piece when you are getting it. But also when you are getting that customer that has been seeing that picture and you get it in the real life and you see that they are not purchasing the product, then you can ask him if it's, or her, if it's a problem because they are not having the size, because they already know the price. So that's not a problem of the price. If they are seeing the price in the website and they go to the shop, it's because they like it. And it's just that evaluation or that they are taking in consideration if the piece is worth the price that is shown in the website, and if the piece is worth of the taste and also of the feelings that they are getting from that. So I think that these are one of the main assets that we are providing in this kind of research that we are doing, that we are trying to analyze which is the non-verbal communication that the user is giving into the shop, if they are going straight to the point, if they are moving in circles, if they are following all the line, all these kind of things. And we can integrate that in the retail industry of the fashion industry, but we are also working in big malls and these kind of areas. I think that that's quite global and interesting because it's understanding how are we living and what are we doing. So it's quite cool. So it's quite cool. And in that side, that's how do you see that that kind of concept? How do you see your entities live, working and moving forward in this area? What do you think which is the future of the entity, and what are the things that you will be developing further on?
Today, so today we are really focusing on the fashion, but what we are building can be applied to every industry, in fact, because it's not it's a made to order, made to measure platform, so that help. So we develop all the data set, the asset and the 3D, the texture, whatever, the measurement. So that's a key measurement. Maybe for some other industry, you don't need the measurement of your customer, but you will need some other thing. And we build apps on top of that. So the apps can be built with different tools, but AI is one of the most powerful today for what we want to deliver to our customer. So in all the aspects, for selling, it's for knowing your customer and analyzing everything. It's a very good tool, but we also we work also with the supplier, the material supplier, and the manufacturer. So today on our side, it's really the ecosystem. We are looking at the whole ecosystem, and we, based on the asset for the whole ecosystem, we try to digitalize everything in one single platform, to be able to build a selling tool, to have a better experience in the point of sale, in the website, in the e-commerce as well, with the selling tool, but all based, most of everywhere we can play with machine learning, mainly. With the asset we have, one of the most constraints we have is to be able to get the right data set today. If we don't have enough data, if we don't have the right data set, if we try to some model where we can base some while we are growing, because we start as a small company, we grow today the data set, but it's where we need to build the asset first, the data, and all the apps with in store, but everywhere. And today it's also for the manufacturer, where we do tools that help them to predict, to track, and to follow the supply chain, and do analytics like that.
That's quite interesting, because this way you can also recommend the prospect producer if they might be using some kind of shape or also composition in the pieces that they are generating, so that you can also predict according to the size that you are creating on that, if they might be adding more elastic material, or it might be adding more cotton, which is the cotton that they are using and if it should be improved or not, and also maybe which would be the shrink prospect evolution of that material according to the further usage and also the washing thing. So it's really cool, because in that way you can also predict the durability of the piece, so you can work in that side. So that might be quite cool.
It's about prediction, but also some practical tools for when you work with some segment of the fashion industry, the small player, the new brand. A lot of brands are starting every year in Paris. It's a fashion hub, and there is always new brands, so we can offer tools that help them to move, to build faster, and also for the small player to help them with tool. And particularly, I have in mind most of the store in Paris, the made-to-measure store, are working with paper. That was the starting point of Sleeve. And from paper, we do a tool in machine learning to be able to scan their order and to integrate their order automatically in the platform. So that one business case is very easy, very pragmatic, because half of the store of made-to-measure tailor in Paris were using only paper, and very difficult to make them adopting a selling tool like 3D configurator or something like that. We failed to do that. So once we failed, we did a tool, which is a machine learning tool to be able to scan their piece of paper and automatically inject that in the platform.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. I think that we are having a real room for this kind of technologies. I like that the concept that you are developing also. I think that we are having several synergies in the field, that they are also extrapolable to other industries, as we were discussing also yesterday in this chat. So I think that it's really interesting. And for example, we are having just 5 minutes left. So how would you summarize? So how do you see the future of fashion according to your point of view in your entity? Which are the next steps? Which are the next things to develop?
So we start from fast fashion, but we are going to a more sustainable, of course, more tech-driven industry, and more personalized, even hyper-personalized with digital worlds, and all the design will go. So where AI have a big role to play in every corner of this trend. So from the brand to get to be from the design to the production, but for me, the future of the fashion will be sustainable and hyper-personalization. So AI is a right tool to make hyper-personalization of the product, to know the customer, the body measurement, the style, the test, what they like, what are the experience with the brand, and you can personalize the experience, you can personalize the product, and you be more inclusive in terms of everything, even with the digital avatar or digital garment, to the real world when you make the production of the garment itself, when you go to the factory and you can product automatically something that is adapt to the measurement of your customer without having ready to wear business model.
That's right, because this way we can reduce the waste that we are generating. We can also adopt that we are using more prospect raw materials that are dedicated for the usage that we want to do. So we can also improve the durability of the piece according to the pieces that we need. Or if we can create maybe some kind of organic pieces that later on, after some usage, they can be just raw material for a next circular economy project. So I think that's a good point, because here we can integrate what you're doing, the customer behavior. We can also integrate what the provider is doing in the raw materials manufacturing side. And also at the same point, what we can do is how the big players in this retail industry, they can improve their functionalities, so that we are not generating an excess of products. And at the same time, what you were saying, that it's also a technology for the small players, that the ones that they are also growing and they are SMEs in this area, so they can also use these kind of technologies to create more custom-friendly solutions, that they can create technologies that they are more adapted for the world that we are living now. So it's perfect. I love this chat, Stefan. I think that we could be talking about this for the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's a pleasure, really. So I think that we are. Would you like to add something else?
No, I like the chat as well. So I was very interested in this discussion, and really looking forward maybe to continue this discussion after with you. Thank you. And thank you for the question, and thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Also from our side, for Hermes, it's a pleasure that we have been invited to this chat for the coordinators. So thank you very much for this invitation or for this collaboration. and let's keep in touch for the next chat. If you need to follow us, you can look for Stefan Courtois, also LinkedIn, or for myself, Marc Cortés. And it will be a pleasure to figure out if we can collaborate in further things related to AI, cybersecurity, or also whatever that is related to the fashion industry. So thank you very much to everyone for this time, and hope that we can generate further and better things.